Hi there, my name's Chris Tamulevich. I am the creator, writer, artist, etc. for the Great Cyclopean. So, I'm crowdfunding over at fundmycomic.com, and we have met our goal. It was a meager $500. It was based on 3 backers, and then we've kind of gone stagnant. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this, I suppose. I don't do many appearances. I don't do shows online, mostly because I feel I damage myself. I am diagnosed autistic, and I think a lot of times I get carried away. I say too much. I say something silly, or I say something unlikable, and I ruin my opportunity. So I've been trying to keep it quiet. To be honest, we're on issue 9, and sales have not really increased the way that we had hoped. Now, I take all that personally. I look at it and I say, well, maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the colors, because I do all that myself. Creating comics, it connects me to the world in a way that connections don't work. Of course, to make that work, I have to create a fan base. So, while current readers of The Great Cyclopean are waiting on a fantastic trailer to come and promote it, I thought maybe the best way to do that would be to talk to you guys one-on-one. This is a 12-issue story arc. We're on issue 9. And when we get to 12, we're not sure where we're going next. Cyclopean may in fact be endangered. As unique as he is, I really don't know if I can justify continuing the series beyond 12 if I don't have the ability to show growth to my publisher, who is my wife. We're self-published, but you know what I'm saying. While I'm asking you to back issue 9 and make it a success, I'm also asking anybody who's willing to go to HeroShack.com and check out the first 8 issues of The Great Cyclopean and let me know what you think. I can use all the input I can get. I'm sure I'm on the right track. I know that I'm growing every issue, but maybe it's time to trade up. Maybe the world wants another Batman or another Superman. So that's my pitch. I know you wanted an elevator pitch that told you about the story. Well, the story's very easy. Cyclopean's under attack, and he's got friends fighting with him to save the day. Check out the books, back the book, help me make a success out of The Great Cyclopean.
Issue 9 is here at last. Yeah. Secrets are all falling fast. Do tell. Torn apart from heart to mask. Yowcha. Heroes fighting to the last. Go with curiosity. Tripping, give me shot and drop. Tripping, give me shot and drop. An awesome book that's sure to slay. Bring it up straight to the top. We got your back, baby. No one ever stop. The Great Cyclopean. The great, the greater, the greatest. Click, clack, boom, doom, and gloom. GC9 on Fun My Comic. Dropping names. Great Cyclopean 9 on FMC. This ain't no game. GC9 so fine on FMC. Not no shame. Trust the weekend. Justice is back in season. I believed in the heart of a good man. I believe in the soul of a maiden true. I believe there are people who understand. I believe there's a hero in you. Welcome to the hero shine. In a world where the doors keep on closing and it feels like we'll never escape, there's a place where adventures are open. There's a place where you don't have to wait. I believe in the heart of a good man. I believe in the heart of a good man. I believe in the soul of a maiden true. I believe there are people who understand. I believe there's a hero in you. Welcome to the hero shack. I deliver the tales for the hoping. I'm the wind in the sails for the brave. I'm the lesson that helps you keep coping at the end of a very bad day. I believe in the heart of a good man. I believe in the soul of a maiden true. I believe there are people who understand. I believe there's a hero in you. Welcome to the hero shack. Welcome to Hero Shack.
Hi there, my name's Chris Tamulevich. I am the creator, writer, artist, etc. for the Great Cyclopean. So, I'm crowdfunding over at fundmycomic.com, and we have met our goal. It was a meager $500. It was based on 3 backers, and then we've kind of gone stagnant. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this, I suppose. I don't do many appearances. I don't do shows online, mostly because I feel I damage myself. I am diagnosed autistic, and I think a lot of times I get carried away. I say too much. I say something silly, or I say something unlikable, and I ruin my opportunity. So I've been trying to keep it quiet. To be honest, we're on issue 9, and sales have not really increased the way that we had hoped. Now, I take all that personally. I look at it and I say, well, maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the colors, because I do all that myself. Creating comics, it connects me to the world in a way that connections don't work. Of course, to make that work, I have to create a fan base. So while current readers of The Great Cyclopean are waiting on a fantastic trailer to come and promote it, I thought maybe the best way to do that would be to talk to you guys one-on-one. This is a 12-issue story arc. We're on issue 9. And when we get to 12, we're not sure where we're going next. Cyclopean may in fact be endangered. As unique as he is, I really don't know if I can justify continuing the series beyond 12 if I don't have the ability to show growth to my publisher, who is my wife. We're self-published, but you know what I'm saying. While I'm asking you to back issue 9 and make it a success, I'm also asking anybody who's willing to go to HeroShack.com and check out the first 8 issues of The Great Cyclopean and let me know what you think. I can use all the input I can get. I'm sure I'm on the right track. I know that I'm growing every issue, but maybe it's time to trade up. Maybe the world wants another Batman or another Superman. So that's my pitch. I know you wanted an elevator pitch that told you about the story. Well, the story's very easy. Cyclopean's under attack, and he's got friends fighting with him to save the day. Check out the books, back the book, help me make a success out of The Great Cyclopean.
He's an alien from outer space. He crashed to Earth and he's here to stay. He's here to make all the wicked pay. Every bad guy fears his name. The one I got with the sharpest mind, with the fingers always spouting signs. A rising star with the blinding shine. Give him a chance, he's gonna blow your mind. The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mast. Heroes fighting to the last. Who's gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? The Great Cyclopean. The Great Cyclopean. The Great. Issue 9 is here at last. Secrets are all falling fast. Torn apart from heart to mass. Heroes fighting to the last. Who's gonna save the day? Isn't there another way? Oh, the Great Cyclopean. The Great. The Great. say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time.
Ooh, I seek you, seek you, seek you every time. Oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. And I beg to see you dance just one more time.
So say,
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before.
say,
Move for me, move for me, move for me, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I say, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you're there to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I seek you, seek you, seek you every time. Oh my, I like your style. Ooh, you make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time.
so say,
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh.
I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. Dance longer. Dance for me, oh oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Move for me, move for me, move for me, hey. When you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So say,
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh.
I never seen anybody do the things you do before. Say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. Dance for me, monkey, 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 monkey. Dance for me, monkey, monkey, monkey. Like the salt in a tear, you never disappear.
You persist.
How's that hatred working out? Did you spend up on that cloud? How much longer can it hold? The gates of hell are getting old. Once you were a mighty clan, you had a claim on all the land. But all the lies that you have told, they lie in wait beyond the fold. Still, you persist. Like a virus in a kiss, like the devil in our midst, you still persist. Like the salt in a tear, like the fart in a rear, you don't self-reflection you do lack. Still, you persist, like the virus in a kiss, like the devil in a mist. You still persist, like the salt in a tear, like the fight in a rear. You don't disappear. You persist. I hope you turn it all around. I hope the soul in you is found. But I know you laugh at that self-reflection you do lack. You persist. Like the salt in a tear. You never disappear. You persist. Like the salt in a tear, you never disappear. You persist. Escape and thrive. Escape and thrive.
Just a kid with lots of years, lots of laughter, lots of tears. Bodies age while spirits rage. Every issue's another cage. Escape from a world without heroes. Escape, bring your vision to the light. Escape, be inspired by your heroes. Escape, be the hero of your mind. I'm just a man with lots of time. Sometimes in life you just go blind. You've got to have a place to go, far away from what you know. Escape. I'm just a man with lots of time. Sometimes in life you just go blind. You've got to have a place to go, far away from what you know. Escape from a world without heroes. Escape, bring your vision to the light. Escape, be inspired by your heroes. Escape, be the hero of your mind. I'm living a life so I can dream. All that's dirty can be cleaned. You've got to have the nerve to rise. Look the madman in the eyes. Coward not, lift up your head. You are not the living dead. To your feet and don't back down. Stop looking lost if you are found. I'm just a man with lots of time. Sometimes in life you just go blind. You've got to have a place to go, far away from what you know. Escape away from a world without heroes. Escape and thrive. Bring your vision to the light. Escape, be inspired by your heroes. Escape and thrive. Be the hero of your mind.
Hi there, my name's Chris Tamulevich. I am the creator, writer, artist, etc. for the Great Cyclopean. So, I'm crowdfunding over at fundmycomic.com, and we have met our goal. It was a meager $500. It was based on 3 backers, and then we've kind of gone stagnant. Now, there are a lot of reasons for this, I suppose. I don't do many appearances. I don't do shows online, mostly because I feel I damage myself. I am diagnosed autistic. And I think a lot of times I get carried away. I say too much. I say something silly. Or I say something unlikable, and I ruin my opportunity. So, I've been trying to keep it quiet. To be honest, we're on issue 9, and sales have not really increased the way that we had hoped. Now, I take all that personally. I look at it and I say, well, maybe it's the writing, maybe it's the art, maybe it's the colors, because I do all that myself. Creating comics, it connects me to the world in a way that connections don't work. Of course, to make that work, I have to create a fan base. So, while current readers of The Great Cyclopean are waiting on a fantastic trailer to come and promote it, I thought maybe the best way to do that would be to talk to you guys one-on-one. This is a 12-issue story arc. We're on issue 9. And when we get to 12, we're not sure where we're going next. Cyclopean may in fact be endangered. As unique as he is, I really don't know if I can justify continuing the series beyond 12 if I don't have the ability to show growth to my publisher, who is my wife. We're self-published, but you know what I'm saying. While I'm asking you to back issue 9 and make it a success, I'm also asking anybody who's willing to go to HeroShack.com and check out the first 8 issues of The Great Cyclopean and let me know what you think. I can use all the input I can get. I'm sure I'm on the right track. I know that I'm growing every issue, but maybe it's time to trade up. Maybe the world wants another Batman or another Superman. So that's my pitch. I know you wanted an elevator pitch that told you about the story. Well, the story's very easy. Cyclopean's under attack, and he's got friends fighting with him to save the day. Check out the books, back the book, help me make a success out of The Great Cyclopean. Test. Is this thing on? Hello?
Is that live?
Can you hear me?
We live?
We're live.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Cool. Nothing. Is that I'm awake, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
So should we cover all the bases really quick? What do you want to do?
What?
What?
What did you just say? Say that again. You
Should
want
we
to run
cover all
the
the
bases?
Yeah, look.
Yeah. All right. We got 10 backers now.
We
Oh,
do.
that's
Thank you,
so
backers.
cool. Thank you, guys.
We're
Oh,
up to
very much.
$1,125, $225
Nice.
of the goal with 42
No,
days
we
to
have
go.
10 backers. We have 10 backers. That's so cool. We have 10 backers. Hey.
We do. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
most of these backers, I've been praying for this. Most of them have been buying the books.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 8 on the standard copy and 5 on the alternative cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
We also have 2 metal card customers. Thank you, guys.
Mhm.
The T-shirt hasn't sold yet, but I'm getting my copy.
Yeah. You're getting your copy.
Cyclopea's Cabinet has 2 backers. Now, we did add the book run, and nobody's backed it yet, but I know there's somebody waiting on that.
Okay.
And nobody's backed the $5 reading initiative, which is okay. That's only there for people who just want to throw something at it, you know.
Yeah.
We do offer also these 5-issue specials. I think there's a price break, mild one, like $5 or something. I released this video this week,
Yes, I
and that
know.
was done on the back porch, and it was quite sincere. It wasn't scripted. I just pulled out my phone and plopped it on the table and said, "This is what I think's happening." What did you think about that, publisher?
Oh, I like the video. I know it came from your heart. I know it covered a lot of things that you think about.
But as a publisher, what do you think? Because it's great to have 10 backers, and I am not begrudging the 25 or so we got last time. And we've done consistently, 20 to 40 backers, and I'm very happy for that. But like, I want to grow this into, 3 figures and then 4 figures and then 5 figures. And I'm talking about backers, readers, commenters. The video has generated quite a few comments,
Well, that's
and
good.
most of them have been positive, and the ones that were less than positive were definitely interesting. And I don't know. I don't think people understand how I feed. But if you come at me and you attack me, it just makes the next issue a little better because
That's true.
it's
What are you
almost
laughing
like
about? You're so
because
weird.
it's almost like when someone's mean to me, I get like Titans rise.
Yeah,
Uh,
you do get a little feisty. You're
I get a
very
little
competitive.
competitive.
You
Yes,
do well. You do well with less than positive feedback. You do
I do
really well.
well with positive feedback too. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
need
you
that
do.
because that's my fuel.
Well, that's your
But
balance.
well,
Because if you just got negative, you'd be like not. Yeah.
Well, if I
You
get too
just,
much, yeah, it's like you got like fuel and you got oil in a car, and
hmm
positive is probably the oil, and negative is like the fuel. Because the positive
right.
keeps it going, it keeps the grind going, it makes it
Yeah.
worth it. But you got to burn up that fuel. So, yeah, so a couple of them, like I don't know. I hate getting into discussions about creative people that get all judgy and stupid and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like it's a comic book, guys, and I want to improve. So if you see something you don't like, I want to hear about it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It's not a healthy environment in indie comics, in the circles I see, at least. You know what I mean? Um, and the lot of that is because I spend a lot of time talking on X, which is Twitter. Um, And regardless of how I try to avoid it, there's always something going on there where I go, "Yeehaw, what the heck is that?"
Mhm.
I'm looking for a less distract. Here we go. This is a better background. That's comforting.
That what you were doing? I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I needed something a little more comforting that was getting like, oh, stressful. I don't want to get stressed,
No, I don't want you to either.
but it's easy to do.
It's easy to do.
I did have someone finally notice that I equals sum was a parody of I sum,
Right.
and they retweeted a picture of Captain Aura and ISOM, the
Yeah.
panels where they stare at each other and at the end they go respect.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that. I thought that was so cool. Because somebody got it. You know what I mean? Somebody that's not in the Mantown Hero Shack common circle picked up on that. I was like, yeah.
Didn't they
Uh,
like it?
well, it was weird because nobody wants to come out and say whether or not they like it. And I get that because it's not a traditional Marvel DC styled comic. And without a doubt, I
Right.
always have a long way to go. But
Yeah.
it's
But
getting
yeah.
better all the time. I'm really excited because maybe next week I'll start showing off some of the Cardinal um,
Right.
part 2 that's featured in the back of Cyclopean 9
hmm
because it's been kind of crazy. Tony still thinks that I kind of rushed the Titans of Justice sandbox, right?
Oh, really?
And I figured out why it looks the way it does. Because, like I said,
Okay.
it was on the back burner. So that means I was drawing it as I went along. And
Right.
um, the thing I've found with part 2 of the Cardinal is the techniques are starting to burn into a certain way where I now believe if I draw Cyclopean 10 as a black and white and then go in and color it, that's going
Mhm.
to be the magic button. That's going to be because I render a little differently when I think it's just for black and white.
Right.
So I'm going to
That's
have to,
true.
yes. So I'm
How are
going
you
to
gonna
approach
do that?
Cyclopean 10 as black and white and
Yeah.
then color it instead of when you draw
Oh,
and
so
you
that when
say
you do the
color.
whole rendering thing, it'll work out better, right? Is that what you're talking
Well,
about?
it'll actually look probably a lot more like the 80s. The colors
Right.
will be smoother, cleaner, and more advanced. But
Right.
the blacks and the solids are going to be what I really think about comic book art. You know, like
Okay.
there's something about when you print something in black and white that
Yeah.
keeps it very tight, and that's going into the next book with a purposeful intent. And I don't
Hmm.
know, I can't really explain it, but it's like when you draw a face and you know you're going to color it in and you're going to shade it with the colors,
Right.
it can affect the way that you handle the blacks and the whites.
Okay.
But like you'll see, you guys will see what I mean when you see Cardinal Part 2. Um, and there is a surprise at the end of Cardinal Part 2 that I could share if Diana allows it.
Uh-huh.
Will you allow
Well,
it?
yeah.
Do you
Sure.
trust me? Do you trust
Of
me?
course, I trust you.
Okay.
Of
So
course.
after Cyclopean 9, I really don't have much planned until next year. In fact, I was considering taking a break until next year to get, Cyclopean 10 out.
Yeah.
And then I realized I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a very short campaign in November, and we're going to release the Cardinal, all 3 parts
Right.
in one black and white edition. And those will be parts 1 and 2 from the Cyclopean
Mhm.
and the concluding part 3.
Mhm.
And this is like, for those who don't know, it's an origin story based on in and around the 14th century, and it's about a man who basically comes into divine powers.
Right.
He ends up gifted with divine powers, which he uses
Mhm.
for the cause of righteousness, holiness,
Yeah.
justice,
Mhm.
and
Tony says you still owe him a battle, by the way.
yeah,
I'm
I know
assuming.
you hear me giggling, right?
Hmm.
Tony, you're distracting me, bro.
Yeah.
But the Cardinal, by the end of part 3, we will have some very clear storylines that we can follow up on, whether that be in the Cyclopean book or in one shots, offshoots, miniseries, whatever. Good evening, Tim. Hail, Tim
Um,
Olsen.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will the Titans of
Will.
Justice get another, uh, like a second issue?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Well,
You know, when you laugh after that, that doesn't sound very convincing. Just saying.
so here's the thing, right? I know that the Cardinal is only going to need like another 10 pages to make a full book, right? And
Mhm.
that's going to be an easy goal. The issue 10, which I would like to start in, funding in January, which means in December I'll be drawing issue 10.
Mhm.
And then like we're in January. I don't know. I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush a book either,
Right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't want you to rush a book. We know that rushing a book is not a good
You know what
thing.
would be a dream scenario? And I'll just say it, because sometimes there are those people out there, religious people who think, name it and claim it, right? So I would
Yeah.
love to be in a position where I could afford to hire an artist to be able to do like a guest issue of the Great Cyclopean so I could free myself up to do other things.
Mhm.
However, we know just by commissioning a cover that it's quite costly and
Yeah.
it's difficult. His book is Russian? Whose book is Russian?
Melvin, I think.
Melvin is not Russian.
I don't know. He said his book is Russian. His book is Russian.
Oh, I get it. Like rushing, like the man in the backfield of a football team is a rusher, and he is a Russian through the line to get
Oh,
the
so the books are rushing? They're rushing out the window?
get it. I don't want to. I don't want to be Russian. Get it?
Mm,
He's playing with
yeah.
words here.
Oh, okay. Tim, you're confusing me, but that's not really hard to do, anyways. So Tony said flashback. I don't know what that means. But
We must have said something that flashed back. Yeah.
okay.
Um. So, did you talk last week about the show that you did with the new banner?
I did not. I did
So,
not.
tell us a little bit about that real quick.
So I had the opportunity to go to. It was more of a. It was in Tingsboro, Massachusetts, and I think it was the Tingsboro Block Party, by the bridge. It was in downtown Tingsboro. There were, I can't even tell you how many thousands of people, but it was a collection of different kinds of vendors, primarily more crafty, wood stuff, wreath stuff, knitting, crochet. It was not a Comic Con. There were plenty of amazing illustrators, people that painted, and I mean, with very talented group of people, lots of food carts. And so one of our Comic Con friends, I would say, reached out to Chris and I on Wednesday of this past week and asked if we would be willing to help man the table with our stuff because husband could not go, which was really cool. You know, I was really cool. And so, yes, I went. Chris stayed home, and it was me and his wife, Amy. So this is Mighty Mascots, Keith Gleason and Amy Gleason. And so I was able to go, and, you know, I felt it was a very productive day because I was able to hand out a lot of different things, also sell a bunch of different books. So that's always a good thing. Sold some dolls, sold some picture frames, sold some books. So it was
Tell
a lot
me.
of fun. More importantly,
How
I
did
was
the
able-
banner work out?
the banner was amazing. The banner was amazing. It was super easy to set up. It was visually very attractive. It went right to the point of who we were. It didn't, you know, look cheesy or anything like that. So I thought it looked very professional.
I
Tim
like the
Wilson,
sticker, Tim.
Tim, like, okay.
I like the sticker a lot. Actually, I don't know if I have a picture of it where I could share. But if you're there, you might actually be able to share it if you join the stream. And that invitation is open to anybody. Click your heels 3 times and it should appear in the chat. All right, somebody
Alrighty.
did it. Thank you, whoever did the 3 times. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You're so silly, Diana.
You're so silly.
Yeah. So
Yes. So it was a very positive event. It wasn't, I think we were the only comic book people there. People were actually surprised. Oh my God, it's a comic? And oh my goodness. And
Oh my
it
gosh.
was- yeah, it was because I was surrounded by illustrators and other
Jimmy
crafty
Crispin.
type people, which had amazing products. It wasn't that. It was just typically we're in a Comic Con and people that come are looking for comic books. So the sales that I did make, I was really excited about because, you know, they were truly like, oh, wow, it's a book. You know, it's like not something you would see at this type of event. So
that's
I'm
what they
very
were like.
thankful. Yeah, seriously, I'm very thankful to
Hey, look.
Keith and Amy. And what is that?
It's a 6 a.m. sticker.
Oh, yes, I see it now. Oh, very cool. Is that something you're doing?
Well, that'll be something I want to as a character I want to use in the future, like Melvin number 7 or something.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name yet. I'm still thinking of it. It just kind of came to me. So it's future ideas are kind of coming together slowly.
Good. That's awesome. That's a really good thing, you know, especially as you continue to write your Melvin issues. Melvin, is it a series, right? I mean,
Series, yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Well, I mean it. Yeah. How do I put this? I want the character to be like a you know what I'm in a story when there's a character that's always the mentor or the the character that teaches the hero something and then either
Yeah.
goes away or dies.
Yeah.
Very Greek storytelling, which
Mhm.
is the very foundation of everything we read. So
Mhm.
I must show you guys something.
That's awesome, Tim.
I
What
must
do you
show
need?
you something.
what is it? You'll show now.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool. So so is
That's
he
the
gonna?
Titans.
Yeah.
If you, I know you didn't get one, but if you have the, help me here, if you have the ash can, these are the
Yes.
gentlemen from that book who appeared in black and white, but they were in color on the cover.
Right.
Oh.
See, I'm just seeing if Tony's still awake. I don't think he is, because if he was, we would hear it by now.
Well, I'm sure he's tired.
And that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it is after 9. We are
I
getting
know.
up there, us old guys.
Us old guys. Oh, you're funny.
Oh, speak for yourself. I'm practically immortal.
You're a
Yeah.
youngin' though. You're under 50, right? You're like 42.
45.
Yeah, kid.
Yeah. He's just a kid. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, when I was getting old enough to like call myself adult at 18, you were still driving bicycles.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was 45, it meant last year I was 44.
You guys are bad.
I enjoy being old. To be honest with you, I'm actually really enjoying the other side of 50.
The creaking of his bones, the
Well, no, it's not the physical stuff. It's the joy of like being able to participate in society in unique and new ways. It's like, okay, so I told this story on Twitter, and I think it sounded weird, but I'll tell you guys, right?
oh god.
So I was at an icebreaker. There was an event. It was a big corporate type event for the school, and they did an icebreaker. And the person that I did it with, we were supposed to share something from our summer, and so I said, "Oh yeah, I made comic books," and she said, "Well, I went to Niagara Falls," and I looked at her and I said, "That's boring. I'm gonna lie." So they were going around making us all say what the other person said, and she said, "Yeah, Chris, he had a great summer. He made comics." And I said, "Yeah, she had a great summer. She went to Niagara Falls and helped give birth to a dolphin." And it was great. I don't know. I thought it was great. She thought it was great. Everybody else thought it was great. And then
I go bigger than that though.
they all found out that, yeah, no, she didn't give birth to any dolphin or help any fish.
Okay.
But I thought it was funny because
Well-
we have to be more vibrant in life. We have to.
I would start using plots from movies.
Yeah, Tim, you're giving me ideas for the next icebreaker. Because
So
they
you-
ask you weird questions, and it's like, oh, this is boring. Because you start hearing like a room full of people go, "Oh, Joe went up to Maine for a weekend," and "Oh yeah, Judy went to Florida for 2 weeks." It just gets like boring.
But then a whole entire train was taken hostage, and I had to free them all one by one.
Yeah, there you
While
go.
rattlesnakes infested the engine.
And then
There's
I had to
space.
fly to Vietnam to rescue all the POWs.
Hey, I love Rambo and the Chuck Norris ones. What was his?
Missing in action.
Was it Chuck Norris did some good ones too, though. Yeah, I think that was it. I don't know. I'll go with that. But they both did some really cool in the '80s. There were some really cool. We're going back and saving POWs, and we were all like kids to teenagers, so it was really easy to buy into.
I remember the cartoon,
Do
and then like I think I had the action figure that came with like a bazooka.
you mean the Rambo cartoons?
Yes, I remember.
Oh
those.
Lord. Oh Lord. I remember the commercials for them. I never actually watched one. Kind of
I
like
had-
the Mr. T cartoons I never actually watched.
Yeah, I had 2 of the Rock Lord action figures. the
God, I only know them from other people saying, "Do you remember them?" And they play like a commercial. And I don't know if I remember them or if I think I remember them, but I know I never really saw them. You know what I mean?
yeah, they were so basic I could transform them easily.
Yeah. Yeah, Tony used to be a master transformer. I remember, I think we might have been 14 or 15. And
Yeah.
he asked Diana, he has a collection still to this day that would blow people's minds. Hey, Joey. But
Hi, Joey.
when he was a kid, we were getting him as our first action figures. And I swear he'd know how to transform the most complicated ones in 30 seconds. I'd be sitting there fighting with it, and he'd be like, "Don't break it," you know. But he would like, and it would be like he could do like all the Transformers way
Oh
quicker
yeah,
than he could.
I mean I have a bunch, but like the harder ones, I'll take a long time to figure out. Like was it last year? I just figured out how to transform a cliff jumper, and it's a little more difficult than the original one. So
I don't know how difficult I've done. Like I did all the ones Tony had, but it was literally like it would take me 10 minutes to do something he did in 30 seconds, you know? And that was just it's probably would be the same way with like weapons. He went and like learned how to, you know, he went to the military and learned all sorts of weapons where I learned how to like, you know, draw. It's different levels of expertise on different things.
It's very funny.
so if they sent you to the front, you just draw something.
Yeah, like the enemy fire, they'd be like, "Run over there, we'll cover you."
Hold on, I gotta erase this one part.
It would be the same thing as when I played basketball. Nobody wanted me on their team, but once I was on, I was a good person to have because I could foul. You know? Hey, just run up to the guy if he goes to the basket and foul him. You got it, Chief. And that would be my role. You know, I would guard that hoop and foul.
You played dirty.
I just played the way they told me to. I was never allowed to shoot. Always pass it off if I got my hands
Oh
on.
my God, you're kidding me.
No, man. I was like what 5'7" and just full of like no aim, no game. It was I was definitely a ringer. There he is. He is there to clog the lane. Nothing more, nothing less. It was fine until we started playing football and somebody knocked out my knee. It was my drummer at the time. Of course, I thought I was a bad, you know, playing tight end because I couldn't run fast enough to be a wide receiver. And we had like 6-on-6 teams. And my drummer was covering me and he crushed my knee, and that was the end of my.
Oh, we weren't allowed to play tackle. We had to play two-hand touch.
Oh, remember we were a band. We were all like between 19 and 24.
They were doing this on their own, though, right? This was not in school.
Oh yeah, we just went down to this. Well, we went to a school park and just beat the heck out of each other with a football.
But I was the guy to throw to because I was always open. And since I was a year older, I was faster than everybody.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna guess, Diana, are you cutting something or?
No, I'm just sitting here.
Oh, I
Hopefully,
think
Why?
it's not muffins.
it sounded like you were like.
No, I'm
something.
literally just sitting here, like in.
Oh, was it you, Tim?
I went back
Oh, I
to
wasn't cutting
work.
muffins.
So here I'm going to complain. I went back to work and I've had to be up at 5:30 every morning
Oh,
to try to get to work for 8. I know, it's so sad. You
It
should-
is sad because you know what happens? At
What?
6, I go in and I say, "Honey, wake up. It's 7:45." And she jumps out of her like sound sleep, looks at her phone and sinks back down because it's only 6:00. So then I go out and at 6:15, I text her and I get an LOL. And then about 6:25, she stumbles forth.
Well, I have to get up at I have a catch a ride at 3:30. I have to get up at 2.
Oh,
Are you why I'm waking up around 3? Because I'll tell you what, somebody in the world is waking up at 3 a.m. or the equivalent of it. Could be somebody on the West Coast. And I keep waking up the same time, and I don't know who it is, but I want them to turn their alarm off. Because it's just waking me up every 3 a.m. And it's gotten habit now. I get up, I use the restroom. All the cats move around because they think I'm going to open a door and let them out. Nope, it's too dark. Let's go back to sleep. They all cuddle up again. It's like,
you
Well,
were
like
a kid. a wackadoo. I don't even know. Like I
You don't think
sometimes
that
I
other people's alarms wake you up sometimes?
no, I've never even heard of that. Never
Yeah,
even heard of that.
I
yeah.
fall asleep
No.
watching was it Brandon reviews cult movies. And then I wake up to watching I don't know what.
You know what I always wake up to, Tim, or I fall asleep to it too. No matter what I put on YouTube, because I have a premium YouTube through my daughter, so I just put it on there, no commercials, let it run. And no matter what I put it on, what's the name of it again?
GameStop?
No,
Shop?
Diana, what's the name of the show?
Geeks and Gamers.
GameSack.
Name's that. Oh yeah.
GameSack. Okay.
Okay, so it's this like two old guys. They're definitely over 40, but under 50, right? And for about 3, 4, 5 years, they did nothing but reviews of all the retro games. I've seen every episode probably 3 times. And it's just these ongoing, like so now we're going to look at every game ever on the TurboGrafx. And they like talk about each one and show video and sound. And it's not like AI. They have AI ones that just run like 30 seconds of game footage and they don't say anything. They just slideshow of it. These guys actually like give you a review. They give you tips. And I'm like, I like it. It's relaxing. I don't have to pay too much attention. It sounds like there's a couple of guys in the background messing around in my living room and I can draw comfortably. You know, it's nice.
You're weird.
I am weird.
Oh, what's another one I like to watch? Beer and board games.
Board games.
Beer and board games. They drink beer provided by like a fan, and then sometimes they donate like a board game or something.
Oh,
So
that's
like what, they
fun.
play Monopoly or something?
They played stuff like that. They play just like whatever. It's usually these weird games like they'll have like a Return of the Jedi game where they have like they have to build this like little skiff that was over the Sarlacc pit. It's something like that, and like they'll play like some old VCR game. Like I think they played the Star Trek, VCR game. They played the Star Wars one too, though. But
That's
they're just-
fun though.
they're
But
just-
if you
I
like
mean,
board games, Chris doesn't like really a board gamer.
No, I like
Well,
board games.
You do?
they're just drinking beer and saying funny stuff, and
The problem with board
And-
games is I always win, and then people like Diana get very upset, so I don't usually do it.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
I can't
When the dice favor you and you just get like Boardwalk and Park Place and you get all
Tim,
four
that actually sounds like
railroads.
it would be a fun show to watch. Chris is not even acknowledging your statement.
I am, but I'm thinking we need to do an online Monopoly game or something.
Oh dear God.
I'll kick
Why?
your butt. I'll kick your butt.
You would
Tim's
kick my-
welcome to join in.
Oh yeah, I always dominate in board games.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
great.
no
So you
way,
guys
I
want me to
win.
play with two people that normally win.
No, I always win. Tim's
Yeah.
forget that. Babe, I'm the
Mm.
champion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not for long.
I won the golden car.
The golden cigar. Did you just say?
No, the golden car
oh, the
in the
golden.
Las Vegas Monopoly World Championships
Oh, gotcha.
1979
Oh,
Junior League Edition.
You're like giggling over there. What's wrong?
Well, that
with
would have
you?
made me like 8 years old. I'm like, oh, that didn't work. No, 9 years. No, 10 years. I could have been 10. That could have happened.
You were 8 when I was born.
No, I
Yeah.
was born in 69. So in 79, I'd be 10.
No, you were born. I was born when you were 10.
Yeah. So you weren't there?
No, I
You
wasn't
weren't there for 1977 when Star Wars came to the theaters? For the first time in my life, I saw a monster movie.
My older brother was born in 77, I think.
I hope he mocks you every day. No.
We used to watch Star Wars. We watched the first Star Wars with VHS, and every time Darth Vader showed up, he'd run to my grandma's bedroom.
Isn't that hilarious? Yeah,
he was scared of Darth Vader. Yeah, I wasn't.
I remember being like 8 years old, freaking out a little bit. Yep, Darth Vader was spooky and had this power where he could choke you without touching you.
Now,
And
if you want to talk about the V movie miniseries, that freaked me out.
the which one?
The V movie miniseries.
You know,
Mhm.
I didn't ever watch it. Like I heard about it afterwards, but for some reason, and maybe my mother was watching Dallas when that was on or something, but I never got a chance to see it.
Well, I just remember seeing that they were lizard people, and I hid behind the couch.
I remember one night watching The Exorcist, right? So the way my mother had the living room set up, the TV was facing like towards the stairway. And if you sat just right at the very top and leaned over, you could see the TV from the second floor.
Oh yeah.
And I watched The Exorcist. I ran into my bedroom, the first scene where she was getting nasty. And I started crying upstairs and I came down and I was like, it's serious. I was like, for the love of Jesus, please turn that off. It's evil, and like crying. And so they had to turn it off. Oh, yeah. It was a nasty night because then I got in trouble for leaning over the edge of the staircase to watch it, but it wouldn't have mattered. I would have heard that. Even the voice was freaking me out as a kid.
I've never seen The Exorcist, and I have no plans to.
It's pretty traumatic if you're not familiar with exorcisms and demonic possession.
I've heard the actual record. I guess they had a recording of it, of what it's based, the actual event that it's based on.
Yeah.
And I heard that, and I said, no human being could ever make that noise. No, I never listened to it again. Like, no.
Yeah, no, it was as far as a movie goes, to me, that was like shockingly horrifying. As was not the truth of the matter and not even the story, because I never got to read the book or see the movie until I was older. But the lore surrounding Amityville Horror and how many houses in my town that we all like looked at and said, that could be one of them.
Well, supposedly that might have been a hoax, not quite sure. And
yeah, exactly.
If you've seen those shows where it's like a haunted show where they're investigating a haunted place,
yeah.
Honestly, it's not really so much the supposed quote unquote haunting; it's the history behind it freaks me out.
Right.
Because it's real. Like the hospital in Yorktown. Apparently, it's the most darkest history in the world. But it was ran by nuns, and they had a record number of stillborn babies because they cut corners. And then you had a priest that had his way with a bunch of nuns, and then forced them to abort their babies.
Oh, that's not satanic at all.
It's so dark and just kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about me, and this is probably why God keeps me out of weird places like that. But I tend to run into them. Like it's just like when we thought there were 7 gates of hell around here, I was going with people trying to find them because I wanted to go shut them down. Oh man, I love ghost stories and chasing them down. And if you confront the paranormal, you can scare the heck out of them because most of them have no freaking idea what to do if you just are not afraid and you have the Holy Spirit behind you. And yes, guys, I called it the Holy Spirit. I mean God. I mean the Holy Spirit. I don't want anybody to go, well, he means, the magic spirits of whatever. No, I mean the one Holy Spirit.
God.
If you're armed, you can go into any of that stuff and they will run. It's just true. You just got to believe. And for me, it's personified in such a way that I walk with no fear when it comes to that stuff because God is just so powerful.
Well, it's kind of also weird because the places, what a lot of these places are now, it's not even what it was when it happened, right?
Right.
It'd be some peaceful, quiet house or something that just happens to have a dark past or something.
Well, we went to 3 locations where they said it could be the 7 gates of hell. On none of the 3 places turned out to be the 7 gates of hell that I could see. Maybe it was supernaturally and I didn't see or feel it, but no, I didn't see nothing weird like that. One we couldn't find at all. We just went somewhere and walked the woods and there was nothing. Another one was just a fence and there was nothing. And then there was one that did go through 3 gates as you went deeper, but then it was just this little cottage thing that was abandoned. And we went in, it was just a little cottage thing. There was no cellar. It was just built up on some stilts thingies, and it was old and decrepit. It's okay, well, if there is anything here, I'm not afraid, and it is because it's not making itself known, so we can go. That's the way I look at it. It's because so people don't know just how much power we have. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahshua, in the name of the Son of God. You walk it, and it will light the way.
Mm.
That concludes our religious moment for the no. Not even religion, it's spirituality, but it's truth. And I've never seen it work in any other name. I've never known anybody else from other religions that understood. I have met Christians who get it, though. There are other Christians and Messianics. When I say that, it's very broad. Catholics could be included to some extent as well. I know one currently who I believe could do it. He's mind-blowing. But it's just a knowledge and a faith that Jesus got your back. And when you really believe it, it really has power because they know you believe it. And by they, I mean the dark forces, because the Bible says we're always facing them, spiritual forces.
It's true. It is true. So that was a quick switch from comics.
It's part of comics
How did we get
because I guess part of talking about the Cardinal brings into Christianity, because for those who don't know, the Cardinal is the first ever Catholic superhero I've done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because I'm not Catholic at all.
Right.
But if I was to boil it down to like simple comic book, what do they call that? Comic book trope. It's what would happen if someone got bitten by a radioactive cross.
A radioactive cross, you said.
Right. So what happens in the first part of the Cardinal, which is that available right now for free as part one?
I don't think so.
I
don't know, honey, because you're the one.
Yeah, I think part 1 is up as part of issue 8.
Right.
So in the first part, you see we meet Fernando, who is a worker for the Vatican. And he's worked his way from the stables, taking care of horses and shoveling poop and feeding them, into the warehouse job, which involves help me with that word, please. Categorizing items and storing them and putting them in safe places within this safe hold within the Vatican City.
Right.
And to his surprise, they receive a shipment from this band of kind of gypsy looking religious people. They identify as Catholic. They look Catholic, but they're kind of weird. And they delivered this whole cart full of goods that they have gathered from the Middle East. So in the process, they're telling them where to put things, and they're using wagons, and they're inside this huge underground catacomb thing. And they give them a bunch of wood and tell them to go down to the room that says crosses, because there's a whole room of wood where people have said these are from the cross of Christ. And the church, not wanting to give up the opportunity to have it, accepts it, even though they're not sure if it's authentic. So when he goes down, there's this whole storeroom dedicated to chunks of wood that have been claimed to be of the cross.
Oh, okay. Because supposedly they may possibly have the piece of the cross.
Right.
Oh, they used to have all sorts of claims too, bro.
Yeah. They also claim that they have the head of John the Baptist. I think they might have taken those from the Templar Knights, who used to carry those in the battle.
Well, in my fictional world, they've done it to such a point that they being a segment, a kind of like a rogue group of priests, are actually participating in a market that sells and trades goods, meaning that Fernando gets quite upset when he finds out that he's being ordered to stock things onto the wagon to go to Britain that don't match anything of the church. They are of pagan origin, and to him, he thinks they shouldn't exist. Why would you keep a sword called the Virgin Killer? What? Yep, that's the name of the sword. Why would you keep that? Why would you be delivering the Book of the Dead, which isn't going to be the actual name, but I'm going to have a Latin name for it. Right. But you know what I mean? They have all these items that are wicked and evil, and Fernando can feel the wickedness off of them. But because he was bit by a cross, he's been talking with 3 angels who suddenly became able to hear him when he prays. And what I mean is, Fernando went home the first night and prayed to Jesus and used his rosary and did his Hail Marys, and the angels could hear him, these 3 angels. And they knew he was Catholic, and they tracked down the prayer rather quickly, and they found the man praying, and they've been talking to him for 2 weeks. When he discovers that there's this like wicked trade going on. And that's all I can tell you about part 2. That's part 1 and part 2 teased.
That was a pretty good.
I like
It's a
that.
very cool story.
I like that.
That's a cool
Well, it's
story.
going to be very cool because what happens is something about one of the wood pieces was authentic, did have the blood of Christ, and he got a sliver from it. And as you'll see if you look at part 1, he gets the sliver, he can't get it out, so he figures he's just going to take care of it when he gets home. He doesn't want to be a wuss in front of all his co-workers and stuff. But by the time he gets home, the sliver's gone, and he feels wonderful. But he's no pain. But what happens is that like DNA does something to his body. There was DNA of Christ on the cross, and it makes his prayers suddenly audible to angels that were formerly assigned to Christ who are still here. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun because ultimately, you know me, I always have twists. It's never what I say it is.
Right.
The Cyclopean, the alien.
Right.
And I can't wait because issue 12 is coming.
Mhm.
It's been kind of fun because I've really put myself out there and talked to a lot of people about my comic versus other people and all that stuff. And I don't know, I'm enjoying it. It's really making me want to just dig in and do better. Did you see Dillard's work, by the way?
Yeah, I saw that the Golden Patriot.
I just want to say it's nasty. Dillard, if you're listening, oh, you suck. You're going to make me work twice as hard to get even half as good. Oh my God, it's so good.
It is good. I always thought the character's helmet kind of reminded me of Dark. I like a mix of Darkhawk and what's another character?
Well,
it
you
kind
can name
of
almost
like Darkhawk, or
you can name almost like half the Power Rangers, but even though it's derivative, oh my God, he's just gotten so like, yeah, Dillard.
it is good. It is good. It looks fantastic.
I don't know how the story is. I haven't really listened to any promotion for it or any reviews of it, so I don't know anything about it other than I saw the art and went, darn it, Dillard. I knew you when you were really, really good. Now you're freaking really, really good.
Yeah. Killing it.
Yeah, and honestly, he is like an inspiration. Because when you look at what he did just 3 years ago, and then you look at what he did with the I want to call him the Yellow Ranger, but what is he? He's the Golden
Patriot.
Thank you.
He is the GOAT.
I think so. Right now, he's every GOAT gets dethroned. Like there was a time when it was George Perez, and then Neil Adams was kind of knocking him off, or it might have been vice versa. But then John Byrne came, and he had like a series of 3 or 4 years where he was tops. And then you started hearing about this kid named what's his name? Jim Lee. Oh my goodness, Jim Lee. And after that, I really don't know who topped him. I'm sure a couple of guys have.
Yeah.
But for me, it kind of tops out at Lee. Byrne is my favorite, but Lee is probably the one I would say, all right, dude, you can just draw anything and I'm going to be happy because you were just that amazing.
I know everybody dogs on Rob Liefeld, but I mean...
Oh, he's one of my favorites too, but I wouldn't put him as like... He doesn't make the top 5, but I would put him in my top 10 because of all his success and his attitude. Do you watch his interviews?
12-year-old me would say he rocks. He was number 1.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was... I think we've talked about this. That was when Byrne was kind of roasting him a little. Yeah. And I was a little bit like, yeah, he's kind of derivative, the little shit. But he turned out like product, and he's legendary in the sense of... To me, he's legendary in the same sense of Kirby. When I look at his art and it's not quite right, I also feel the same way Kirby made me feel, which is like, but he still made this panel look awesome. Yeah, the feet's kind of funny, but it still looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry,
I just go back to like X Force #1,
yeah.
like
Well,
was it
his critics-
Fioral?
His critics are always right, but his art was always like just something that made you want to like read the book.
It made me want to create books.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was when I was a kid, I was constantly making these characters that were kind of ripping them off. But yeah,
Well, I'm trying to do so. Honestly, consulting the legend, and by that I mean things I found out about Jack Kirby. I am like looking at ancient styles, like the way that the Inca dressed, and the way the Egyptians dressed, and the way that British people dressed 200 years ago, and all the different ways that people made themselves up. Because I love skin tight, very simple suits, but they all look skin tight and very simple. So I can't do that for everybody. As time goes on, I got to get cooler with the costumes. Wiretap's kind of like that. Then that's because I really didn't design Wiretap. That's more of Joey's design.
too bad you can't mass produce those toys.
Yeah, but you know what? I know that if we mass produced, Tony is such a nut that they would be even more accurate. Like we would have to work custom sculpts because he is a perfectionist. Even as good as these dolls or action figures, I better get it right because he's going to watch this again if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
But these action figures, as much as they look very cool, especially compared to what we know they are in the comics, he would still pick them apart and say, I need to fix this a little. That should be a little different. That. And it's really interesting to listen to him because he gets very intense about action figures. When you go in his room, literally, it's probably from the floor up, if you want to be technical, but on all four walls, it's just covered. Like there's shelves and there's anime characters, there are Marvel characters, there are DC characters, there are Star Wars characters, and there are probably characters I don't even know about. But like in that one picture, in this one, like if you look in the background, there's Jedis, all with their lightsabers out. That's somewhere like on their wall, like it's just covered, And Steve has a collection similar. It's not quite as extensive, but I'll bet you it's more expensive. Steve has such rare stuff. Like he collects, Star Wars figures on the card, first edition type stuff. On the card, meaning a box that was never opened. And you look up and it's like that toy's from like 1980, dude. And he's like, yep. and you're looking at it, it's shocking,
Well, you don't do that though.
No, but when I was a kid, that's what I'm saying is shocking because when I was a kid, I ripped through those like they were like nothing. It was like, wow, I don't know how you resisted opening it, but good job. Of course, you bought it that way, but somebody fought it off.
I know. Somebody fought it off. Courage.
Either that or they got lucky. I always think there's a chance people got lucky and found like a box of them in a warehouse somewhere that was forgotten.
Yeah.
And they said, Joey, go sell it on eBay. And off the guy goes, sells the box.
I would still open it.
Box.
I would still open it, but I wouldn't. I'd put it in my little room / office.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I want to congratulate Diana. She came home this weekend with a very interesting on wheels device that the cats are currently investigating, but it's going to be perfect for holding the books as opposed to the what do you call those? The tote that we've been using.
No, I'm using no, honey.
Oh yes.
No, that is not as sturdy as the tote.
I'm talking about that red thing with the tan top.
Yes, those.
We're not taking that anymore.
No, we're going to use that's all the other supplies. It's not the books though.
Well, we won't be using that thing anymore. I'm going to get rid of it.
Well,
I don't like it. I want to get like a robotic dolly mechanical thing.
So I'm getting tired You're gonna start
You're
talking
just saying that because you don't want me to get a mechanical thing.
This is a
You haven't even
conspiracy
been on
against
an
saving
hour.
this mechanical thing.
I just can't right now with you. I'm like,
We
what?
still have at least 8 minutes you owe us.
Oh, I'm so tired. I'm sorry, guys.
She lasted as long as she could.
How can you be tired?
How can? Because I got up so early, honey.
This is your chance to say hi to everybody in the world.
I have said hi to everybody.
Not enough.
Hello, everybody. Don't forget to back the Great Cyclopean
Oh,
Island.
yeah, that's supposed to be the purpose of this show, and we didn't even show the book.
Oh, do it now. Do it.
Come on.
Well, the links are in the chat, and
You did show
really,
me at the beginning.
yeah, but no, I said shill.
Shill
Sell
it.
the book.
Oh, show. Okay, yeah.
So currently, we
Yeah.
are. I'll show you. I'll
Alright.
just show you. Let me
We will shield Jerry day and night.
let's see. No, we want this one. So we are at 10 backers, $1,140 raised in 10 days. 228% of our goal. 41 days to go. There's the guy that creates them. That's the cover, the standard cover. And these are some of the pages. The bright colors are very cool and will look cooler in print. They're a little bit high up because they're RGB there. And these are some of the samples from Cardinal Part 2, which I'm really enjoying the heck out of. And really, I need to update these because these have been touched up further. But
In the comic, right? That what you mean?
Well, I mean, these particular pages in the Cardinal have been pumped up further.
Yeah.
But like here on the page to the right there, with the two like freaky guys pointing on the table, they're actually looking at inventory and discussing things. And it's funny because there's a skull of some saint, but it wasn't the saint.
I gotta take off. I'll see you. Check you. I'll chat you guys later.
All right, well, good night.
Thanks for joining.
But yeah, that's the skull of some saint, and you know, they're talking over their deal.
Mm-hmm. They are.
All right. So that's the campaign. Thank you, backers.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we will be delving further into marketing over the next 40 days or so.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. So Tim is out. That's great.
Yeah.
We don't, that's bad, but great because, you know, like back his Melvin book. I don't think he's crowdfunding. You have to go buy it.
Yeah, he's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, I believe.
Walmart.
Walmart, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, Walmart was one of them.
Yeah, Walmart. So check it out.
Meanwhile, we're at fundmycomic.com, the Great Cyclopean number 9. And HeroShack.com, we have the back issues for free.
Right.
Uh-oh. Why does he do this to every episode? Every episode, we try to log off.
Why do I do it? Because I'm just ending with Mike about this time. So I come over to see whether you guys are still on or not. Sometimes you are.
Hey,
Sometimes you're not.
Outcast. Hi, Outcast. Oh, my God. Hey, Rick.
Yes. Hey.
I'm over here
Some
yawning
great-
away. I go, where are
But
we
some
at?
great news on my behalf. I got a job today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you
pal.
do. Oh, my God. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I am going to be a line cook / prep cook at a place called Turtle Jacks.
Nice. That's awesome. You must be so excited.
Yes. Now it's just hoping things don't get fouled up.
No, you'll do great.
I start Tuesday. So.
Is it
That's
like at
cool.
night, daytime? you're-
Well, I'm starting at 11 a.m. on
Yeah.
Tuesday. It says Muskoka Grill. So also read when I was approaching, it said grill and lounge. So maybe it's sort of sports bar-y.
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect.
Are you going to have to sing with a piano?
No,
they wouldn't
it's
want
too-
me to sing. Yeah,
Whenever
they
I hear
want me to
loungy,
sing.
I think of a piano. You know?
Yeah.
Love-
Chris, stop it. I'm trying to listen to Rick. For God's sake, let the man speak.
Yeah.
Rick.
They want me to sing a solo. Solo they can't hear.
Solo, they can't. Oh God, I can't with him.
Well,
Rick, I am so happy.
yeah,
For you. I'm so happy for you.
that was
That's
my next one. Either that or they want me to sing tenor. Tenor 12 miles away.
I can't stand him some days. I can hear him. You guys can't. I'm in my
Yeah,
office
no,
downstairs and I
he
can hear
muted
him
himself.
bellowing. I'm like, oh my God.
See, the problem is Chris can't pretend to bellow, make it look like he's bellowing out loudly, yet
You're
not
right.
utter a single sound.
Exactly.
Like
You guys are so weird. Oh my God, the two of you. No, he's. What are you yelling for? I'm so glad I'm not in bed yet. So Rick, that's great. So it's like a line job, like a cook job, like
Yeah.
on a
this.
station,
Line and prep cook.
line
So,
and prep.
I guess sometimes I'll be on the line, sometimes I'll be cutting up
Yeah.
tomatoes, onions.
Is
maybe
it
some
full time
turkey,
or
bacon. I believe it's full time, yeah.
okay?
Um,
Good.
Starts
Good for you.
starts at $17 an hour. So
That's all right. It's a good place to start, right? You
Yeah.
must be excited, are you?
yes. Excited, nervous, a lot of things all at once.
Yeah, of course. Have you ever done this kind of work before?
I've done a little bit of it before, not a
Yeah.
lot, but
You've been around that kind of atmosphere, so but it won't
Yeah.
be totally new. It'll just be like anything. You just take it and do it the best you can and whatever, But that's good. I'm glad to hear
Chris, you're
that.
still-
I know it's been working. Chris, you're still muted. You are muted. You're such a dork. Why do I have such a dorky
Become a
guy?
superstar.
You're such a
now,
dork.
now your volume's real low.
I know.
I said become a superstar.
Become a super samurai.
Yeah, super samurai.
So, Chris was going over the Indie Comic Showcase on Bleeding Full tonight.
Do
Who?
what?
Me and Mike were going over the Indie Comic Showcase over on Bleeding Full tonight.
Oh, really? How's that going? Good?
Good. There was this real interesting book on there.
Was there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was called The Witch Hunters.
Really? I've never heard of it before.
And then there was this other one by this other author that I think we've heard of before, John Delarose.
Yeah.
And then there was this very, very, very obscure book. It's called The Great Hypopian or something like that.
Oh, that's funny. They did do it. They never emailed me. They did it.
Diana, what did you do?
What do you mean? What did I do?
What did you do?
I put it up. I asked them to do whatever they do. So they did. That's cool.
They did what they do?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you go over to Bleeding Fool website,
Yeah.
you guys are up on the showcase. It's
We're
a
on the
great
showcase.
Cyclopean
Yay.
Indie Comic Showcase.
I love
Are you
it.
This week. Yeah, we were looking at it earlier.
Oh, that's
Diana,
so
are you
cool.
looking at it?
I'm looking at it now.
Well,
I'm trying to find it.
Garrett,
Well, I will in just a second here.
Your mic's not picking you up great.
Who,
at
me?
least not for- No, Chris.
Chris. All right. Hold
I don't know.
on.
I wonder what happened.
I'm sharing now. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Present. Share screen. Window entire screen. Code. Okay. Select that tab. Share.
Whether it's grade A, but it's grade something.
Okay. Do you see it?
Okay. Yes, we see all those women in bikinis.
How did I? Wait a second. Okay. There we go. Sorry. All right. Chris and Diana, Tammy Lovich, blah, 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 blah. We didn't even know. Like, I checked it out. So, oh, good. That's so funny. Chris, we can't hear you again. So it goes through this whole interview thing. That's
Yeah, he takes the questions he asks you and makes it into.
Can you hear me
It
now?
makes it into an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little for sure.
Yeah. I
I
can
don't
hear
know
you.
if this got busted or something.
That's weird. So that's cool. They did it. They did the thing. I hope it gets us a little
All right.
excuse me,
Well,
guys.
thank you, Bleeding Fool.
Yeah, I was like when Mike was telling me before the show started. I'm like, finally, I've been telling him to do this for I don't know how many issues.
Well, that would be Miss Diana trying to market a little. Thank you, Diana.
Oh, so Miss Diana is answering all the questions, yet they think it's you. 'Cause
No,
it
I'm
says
sure
Paul.
that she's asked me those. That's what she was doing. She does that all the time, though. In fact, we were talking about sharing some of the questions we've gotten over the last week and a half or so since I started campaigning more and more for responses. But like it's scary because you don't really some things you just want to work on. You don't necessarily want to pop out there in front of people, or
Yeah,
at least I don't. I don't know. I think we lost her. She may have fallen asleep.
she muted herself for some reason.
She's
I'm
being
having a
muted.
coughing fit.
Uh,
Are you ill?
No, I'm just having a coughing fit.
Okay. Well, don't have a coughing fit.
I'm not
She
sure
did
whether
it
it's up
again.
to
She's
her.
having a coughing fit. I shouldn't say don't have one because it's not usually something a person can control. That's why they call it a fit. Pepsi Man.
Sorry, that's been happening all day.
I guess that
That's
makes you a
probably
true
not a good
American.
sign.
What?
That's probably not a good sign.
I know. I'm gonna get my one again. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Keep talking.
So drinking
So,
Pepsi,
Rick,
I guess that makes you a true American.
do
Because
what?
drinking Pepsi makes you a true American. The
You mean because
that
it's red, white, and blue?
yes, it has the American colors. Where Coke,
No,
Canadian
I don't
drinks,
know.
Coke makes them a real Canadian because it has the Canadian colors of red and white.
No, there's a guy up there painting the blue off and putting the red on. You guys don't know it, but it's really red, white, and blue. They change it when it leaves the country. They also change it in all the video you see. And if you travel to America, they will change it as you move along. We've all come to accept that. Canadians move around the country. The cans look red all of a sudden for a week, and it's terrible. Nah, isn't that kind of interesting though? Pepsi went for red, white, and blue, and Coke from right from the beginning was red and white, as far as I know.
Yeah.
It is a high contrasting color.
And last time I knew this, and the statistic is like decades old, that more Americans drink Pepsi than Coke, and more Canadians drink Coke than Pepsi. Maybe we associate the tins with our country because of what I was sort of going with jokingly there.
So what about all of us that drink Mountain Dew?
It's not a cola.
But it's green. And so is Sprite.
Well,
What
Sprite's
about
clear,
orange and grape? Oh my gosh, we are the International Soda Foundation now. We got all these colors. We are set.
Well, I was more going with the colas than all the other flavors.
Well, after that, let's see. For me, I know about RC Cola. Who else
There's
makes
a bunch
cola?
of there's. I'm not sure about here, but there's a lot of different store brand colas here.
Yeah, I don't count the store brand though. They're just buying it off of one of the soda foundries that changed the recipe a touch. Like we get like Market Basket and we get Hannaford soda. I'm sure it's like all out there, but toy color palettes, and it's
Joey
indicate.
says it was
Yeah,
based on
he's right.
average.
He's right. But I can tell you guys, there's a company out there that still makes what they do is they make white, red, and black toddler toys, mostly for like your infants to 1.5-year-old, because they're very sharp contrasting to the human eye, and as a baby they see those easier than any other combination. So like in advertising, it's interesting because Coke is really what, red and white and maybe black if they're going to put stuff on it, but they're not
They
like
might
red,
outline
white, and
something.
blue, and they're not like red, white, and yellow. They're red and white, really,
Yeah.
All right, I'm back for a moment.
Hi, moment.
Yeah.
So
well,
are we going to kill the stream and go to bed?
Yeah, I have to. Poor Rick just got here, but I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, but Rick's been
it's no
streaming
worries.
all night. He's a star.
Not all night, but
Yeah, we know how you guys are in Canada. You probably start at 2:00 our time.
Rick,
Two
I'm
o'clock your
super
time.
happy about your job, though. I really,
You too,
really
man.
am. I hope
Congratulations.
it's good.
yeah, I just thought I'd come on, spread the news. Now it's
Yep.
just me not following it up somehow.
Well, you won't. Just
You're not
think
going to do
positive.
that.
You just
Yeah.
listen and do the do your thing. So
Yeah, that's all I can do is go in and do the best job I can do.
absolutely, really, seriously, that's all you
You're
can
going to be
do.
awesome, man.
Yeah. God, I don't know where this all of us. I'm sitting here and I can feel the tickle coming.
So
I'm
with that,
sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close the stream, and I'm going to go scratch Diana's cough.
No, you're not. You weirdo.
I'll get you cold medicine or something.
Stay far away from me. Rick, again, congratulations. Thank you for stopping by. Guys who's watching, thank you guys so much for checking in. Don't forget to look at the Great Cyclopean.
Good night, brother Outcast.
Comic. Good night.
Hail to the chat. We never